simulcasting through CTV in Roseville, replaying SPNN in St. Paul, Valley Access in the Stillwater area in South Washington. So we thank everybody for being with us. Like I said, it's October 27th, 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. If you're watching the show anytime other than that, please don't call in. But if you're watching it live, questions and comments for either myself or the guest. And so we thank you for being with us. We have, I think, I don't know if we, no, I guess, I don't think we're ready for the, are we ready? We have a little something here for you to start the show off. I brought this in. I thought Bill might get a little, find a little pleasure or humor in watching this. And you'll enjoy this, folks. And we're going to try to intercede. We have a couple pieces that I want to try to put in. We didn't really have time to set this up, but are we ready? No, I guess we're not. We're ready to go. All right, let's play this, and then
Larry King here with Minnesota Representative Betty McCollum.
Thanks for having me on the show, Barry. I'm a big fan.
My name is Larry. But let me ask you our first question. Why are you afraid to debate your opponent, Teresa Collett?
What do you mean, Jay? I've agreed to appear in several forums. Some of them are just a few days before the election. We carefully selected the stations to make sure they were underpowered, so few people would be able to hear them.
Betty, you had the chance to appear on broadcast television with Teresa Collett, but you backed out days before. Why?
David, I had to go back to Washington. I was doing the people's work.
Don't you sit on the budget committee? You didn't get a budget done. You didn't even submit one. You even voted to recess Congress before extending the tax cuts. What work did you get done?
I voted 100% of the time with Nancy Pelosi. I carried her water on Obamacare, the stimulus, cash for clunkers, and the auto bailouts.
So why not have the courage to defend those votes in front of the voters on TV in a debate with Teresa Collett?
Well, Oprah, Teresa Collett is a constitutional law professor, and I was a retail sales clerk before I was elected. You figure it out.
You are saying she'd make you look like a pet chimp?
Yes, that's essentially it.
So how is the campaign going this year, Betty? I hear that the Democrats are on the run all across the country. Your votes with Pelosi and President Obama cannot be popular in St. Paul.
We had a great voter registration rally at the Ramsey County Detention Center and several well-attended town halls at Roselawn Cemetery. Our base is energized.
One final question, Betty. Why did you intentionally leave out, under God, when you recited the Pledge of Allegiance in front of Congress?
Arsenio, I was just taking a breath. I have to be going now. Nancy needs me to wash her car this afternoon.
But Betty, I didn't even get a chance to ask you about why you are against Israel. Why do you support Hamas? Don't you have a large Jewish population in St. Paul? How is that representing them?
Jay, I really represent the hard-left socialist wing of the Democratic Party. I vote whichever way Nancy, MoveOn.org, and the SEIU tell me to vote. St. Paul voters mean nothing to me. They are useful idiots.
That's all for now. On tomorrow's show we'll have Minnesota candidate for Governor Mark Dayton. Anderson Cooper is up next.
All right, we have a pause here, and now we're going to interject a piece. We'll play this, and then we're going to play the second parody here, and I think you're going to appreciate this. This is a clip from Betty McCollum, and the issue here is really, you know, if you read the Constitution, are we ready with it? And Betty's removal of certain words from the pledge, and we've done this before, but when we get to the second half, you're going to appreciate this. In the meantime, while they're trying to figure that one out, they said they were ready, but I guess apparently they're not. Let's take and play the second part of the piece, and then are you going to have it ready? Well, they don't know. They don't know. Go ahead, control room. Play the next piece.
Once again, our guest this evening is Minnesota Congresswoman Betty McCollum. Representative McCollum, we've received a number of questions from listeners tonight. We've decided to get your thoughts on some of these questions.
Have these questions been approved by my staff? I don't usually take unscripted questions. You never know when you might get one of those crazy right-wingers planted in the audience.
No, this is live television, Betty. You know, fair and balanced. Wait. That's not us, is it? Anyway, our first question comes from Derek in Invergrove Heights. Derek would like to know, as a member of the Budget Committee, how do you explain the failure of the committee to even present a budget?
Well, look, the previous administration had the keys to the car, and they drove it in the ditch.
Actually, the Democrats have been in control since 2006.
Are you sure?
Yes, quite sure. We've checked.
Oh, well, you see, what was the question?
How do you explain the fact that the Budget Committee didn't submit a budget this year? That's never been done before.
Okay, here's the deal. In order to fix what has happened to the economy over the last 2 years, we had to spend money. We did TARP, the auto bailouts, and cash for clunkers, so in order to do the budget, we would actually have had to follow it. Since we are spending more money than we have coming in, we couldn't possibly finalize a budget. Look, can we talk about something else now?
Next question comes from White Bear Lake. Could you explain why you did not include any private employers during your meeting at the state capitol on the use of stimulus funds for workforce development? That's a good question, Betty. If you want to create jobs, why not talk to the job creators?
Are private employers part of government? Do private employers increase the size of government? Look, government employees are unionized. Union members don't think for themselves. Unions vote for me, get it? Hi SEIU.
Tom in St. Paul would like to know, what limits do you believe the Constitution places on the federal government?
Look, Larry, the Democrats controlled the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. What Constitution? I really don't care about the Constitution. We make up the rules as we go along, get it?
Betty, you were recognized as the intellectual leader of Congress. You have said that the Constitution is a living, breathing document. Under that theory of constitutional interpretation, what limits exist on judicial power when interpreting the document?
Did I say that? The Constitution is a piece of paper, kids know that. Why are you so concerned about the Constitution anyway? It was written over 400 years ago by a bunch of dead white guys. The Constitution outlines the rights of the 57 states and the 4 branches of government. The judicial branch is one of those branches of the government. That is where the power comes from. Sheesh, that is Physics 101.
Do you believe that the First Amendment requires exclusion of all views that are grounded in religious beliefs?
Yes, everyone has the right to bear arms, although we are working on that one too.
That is the Second Amendment.
Oh. Well, I refused to say under God when I led the Pledge of Allegiance in Congress. I used my own First Amendment rights there.
A listener in Mendota Heights would like to know if you believe that it is the role of government to influence public policy on contested issues.
Like I said before, the Democrats controlled the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. It is our duty to increase the size of government, to take care of the people. It takes a village after all.
In light of the projected deficits of the Social Security Fund, what changes, if any, would you support in the Social Security system?
In order to be fair, everyone should get paid the same amount every month, regardless of how much you put in. That is the socialist way.
Our last question comes from Teresa in St. Paul.
Why does that name sound familiar? I can't quite place it.
Teresa would like to know why you believe unions should be able to participate in elections through paid advertising but not corporations?
Hi SEIU. The simple fact is, union members are told who to vote for. We need to get the word out. Corporations are big business, and when I was a college student, I was a makeup sales girl at Sears. I learned how evil Sears was, because the job was hard. Sears is a corporation, and they haven't donated to my fund yet. Is it time for a break yet? I'm running out of talking points.
Yes, we can go to commercial. We have to pay the bills.
Would you like us to just print some money for you? It's much easier.
Stay tuned for more with Minnesota Congresswoman Betty McCollum. I haven't had this much fun since my 5th wedding night.
Do you people love what we give you? I mean, you know,
tend to be pretty successful at it sometimes with people that
it's a lot of time, but we try to make this show worth watching. And so, you know, it's educational TV. It's tried to expand how you think, what you think about, and what's happening to you. So we have a couple actual pieces now of Betty, and I don't know, are we ready now? Okay, let's play. I want to play. Here's the comment on the Pledge of Allegiance, and then I'm going to see if we can pull up the piece where just last week Betty says a budget when she was having a debate with Teresa Collette, and the question came up about a budget, and Betty simply said, a budget, that's just a piece of paper. Is that the way you do it over in Washington County? Dismiss what a budget is by just saying, well, it's just a piece of paper.
Different ballgame with the federal level.
Well, they don't have it. I don't know what's going on. All right, if they get it, the technology department around here is a little frazzled tonight. Well, we were pushing them to the limit. So we're gonna talk with our guest here, Bill Polkerbeck. Bill, thanks for coming in. I know it's election time. People have to see all your blue signs out there that simply say Bill Polkerbeck, County Commissioner. That's Washington County. So that's for the viewers that are on the other side of Century Avenue. Let's put it there.
Just to clarify, I am not running against Betty McCollum.
So. No, you're. He is not running against Betty McCollum. Do we even know who your opponent is?
Yeah. Actually, hey, before we get into any questions, I do want to put a shout out to my wife, Lori, who's watching at home, probably working on a mailing, and hopefully she remembered to record the program. So
good. We'll actually get you a copy. Here's a campaign piece. It's obviously a Halloween theme. I brought in answers on the back. Can you identify your Washington County Commissioner? And this is cute. I don't know if we can get a camera person to run up on this one. Here we come. Here's the camera person. Let's pull up on this one. Don't pull up this close quite that far. We want to have all there. We want to have all the choices in there. Now, which one is your Ramsey County Commissioner?
Washington County.
Is it I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Five gets a lot.
Washington County. What did I say? I said Ramsey County?
Number 5 gets a lot of votes.
Number five gets a lot of votes. You know, we need to have one of these for the Maplewood City Council, because you have 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, 4 of 5, and 5 of 5. So we could assign them all numbers here. This I think would be appropriate. But the answer, of course, is on the other side over here. There's your Washington County Commissioner, and have a fun and safe Halloween. So this is just a little nice piece that went out. No pumpkins were harmed in the making of this postcard. Excellent.
I just brought that in there brought this in because, you know, politics is usually so devoid of any kind of humor that this was just a piece we sent out, just kind of a fun one. Lori actually put this together, so that's a good piece. That's my favorite one.
That's what I say. You have to put a little satire and brevity in